Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Deliberations with Sonya. And today we're going to be talking about the secrets to being a high-value woman. Now, I must admit that this topic, it actually came to me after the last podcast in which Shyla and Victoria, my baby girls, were talking about, we were all discussing, can you have it all? And it dawned on me as I was listening to a lot of the things that they were talking about. Like I said, those are the secrets to becoming a high-value woman. High-value woman. So if you didn't see episode four, how to have it all, then you want to go back and watch that. You also want to click the like and subscribe button right now because I need to get my numbers up, and you need to get notified for the next episodes and the shorts and the political funnies I like to do from time to time. Anyway, so are you ready to elevate yourself and create a remarkable impact on your personal and professional life? Look no further, because today we're going to unravel the art behind your transformation into a high-value woman. So let's get started. In order to become what we know we're destined to be, oftentimes it just requires us to step out of our comfort zone, because a lot of times we just want to ride with the group, right? We just want to do what everybody else is doing. But high-value women don't do that. Can't do it. Throughout this video, we're going to delve deep into the traits, the mindset, and actions that can help you become a high-value woman. We're going to discuss various aspects, including your self-confidence, your communication skills, your personal development, and much more. And if you look at what Shyla and Victoria had to add in our Can We Have It All video, then what you will learn is that they took a lot of the onus of not meeting their preferred mate onto themselves, and I as well, and that's why I was like, high five, girl, because you guys are realizing a lot sooner, although the pressures that they're up against are a lot faster with this internet and social media and everything. So yeah, they have a harder time at it. Maybe not. Anyway, so our mission here is to empower you and provide you with practical tips and advice to help you unlock your full potential. By embodying the principles I'm about to share, you will notice significant changes in all areas of your life, not just your relationships, because that's not what it's all about. Your business life, your friend life, because I'm going to tell you, these same streams that I'm going to talk about today, they go across every area of your life. And so as you think about how you're going to better prepare yourself, better set your boundaries, better in being accepting of what it is that you bring to the table, what your traits are, what your strengths are, what your queen language is, then you'll start to realize that these things cut across all areas of your life. It's not just one. It's just not interpersonal relationships with a man. There's girlfriends out here. You be girlfriends with people and they slight you. Family, always slighting you. But that's different. But anyway, I digress. So what I'm going to do is to jump right into this. And, but a few of the things that I do want to talk about is societal pressures and self-doubt and just the inability to embrace yourself while you're running in a crowd. You know what I mean? One thing I like to tell people, look, I could do bad all by myself. I don't need no help. Well, I'm going to run in the pack. For what? I've always thought of myself as someone who was going to just do what I want to do. And I blame this on my parents, my mom and my dad really were, like my dad never wanted to hear what other kids was doing. My mom ain't care what other kids was doing, what other parents was doing. They ain't care about none of that, okay? Because they would just be like, we do not care about none of that. What did you do? What decisions did you make? Okay? Because you're going to own all that ish, okay? And so I have never been the kind of person where I'm but everybody doing it. Fuck that. I don't mean to cuss, but anyway. Yeah, so that digs deep into your self-confidence, right? So one of the things that me and the ladies were talking about was just how they had to grow into their own self-confidence. And Victoria and Charlotte spoke very eloquently and very deeply and insightfully about what they went through to embrace their self-confidence and the things that, people made them feel bad about, and how you look at social media and you're like, oh, I want to be like her, and blah, blah, blah. And then the young men in the world and the women, they all just like, oh, you're not it because you're not like me, blah, blah, blah. Girl, bye. Those aren't high value women. Those are copycats. Those are assembly line. You know what I'm saying? They letting them off of the assembly line at Ford, okay? Those are not Bentleys. No, those are not Maserati. You know what I'm saying? No, those are not. Those are mass produced thought processes. And I'm not speaking bad about anybody, but I want you to understand, if your whole goal in life is to be like everybody else, then you gotta ask yourself, self, what I'm on this planet for? You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be like everybody else. Everybody else gonna be lambs to the slaughter. I could just ride with them and be lambs to the slaughter too. Everybody else is going to just take all kinds of crap out of society and the world and everything else. So I'm gonna just take all that crap too. Why not? Everybody else, man, out here cheating, I'm gonna cheat too. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. No. When your confidence is key to your own self-empowerment, you will learn to embrace your unique qualities and believe in yourself. You got to know your worth. And you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you're right and they wrong. You got to know that you're making the right decisions, right? You don't need to be like, oh, what to do. And listen to people to tell you what to do and then do it. And then be like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. Okay. And who said that? Victoria. Victoria said something so good. She said, to be a queen, sometimes you got to be a little mean. And I ain't gonna say you gotta be mean, but you do gotta be like, girl, gone with that bullshit. I ain't doing that shit. You do it. Okay? No. Cause I'm a queen. And queens don't do that. At least you know. Not my version of the queen. Okay? Confidence is magnetic. And it is irresistibly attractive because it keeps you in a place of honoring who you are, how you are. Don't let anybody take that from you. No. And like I said, I was very, very just encouraged by both of my baby girls and their ability to have done the self work and to reach down and say, you know what? Keep my natural body. I'm going to keep my, education. I'm going to keep being, the way I am. I'm going to keep being a little hood, a little suburb. And you just got to roll with it, boo. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here for a girl. You never know when you got to like. Anyway, so let's move on with that regard to number 2, which is self-care. So, as I segue out of self-confidence and into self-care, what we all need to realize is that the self-care is what brought those young ladies to a place where they could do better and know better and not feel ashamed that they were going opposite of the crowd. Okay? Because when you take care of yourself inside and out, you nourish your body, you nourish your mind, you nourish your spirit. That's when you transcend that need to just be a copycat out here in this world. You embrace your own individuality. You realize that you're in your space, you're in your time. I like to tell people stuff all the time. I used to tell my clients this. It's just, this is not the buddy plan. Life on earth is not the buddy plan. Okay? And I used to have these young men and they would, do these youth offender crimes and stupid stuff, joyriding. Some of it was a little more serious, but anyway. I would just tell them, you're gonna keep up all of this that you're doing, and you're not gonna snitch and all of this and all of that. Well, honey, let me tell you something. When you go in the ground, when you die, and it's over, ain't no bunk beds in the casket. You know what I'm saying? You go by yourself. You're by yourself. So you better think about yourself. Too many times in our society, especially as Christians, and I have to just say this, as Black Christians, we tend to look down upon focusing on self because it's selfish to focus on self. We don't even, we're not even really supposed to pray for things for ourselves, pray for things for others. But in that vein, you have to think that you're not selfish, because just like on the plane and it's about to crash and they're like, hey, put the thing on your face first before you put it on somebody else's. If you don't live, what's the rest gonna do? If you're not good and you're not together, you can't take care of your family, you can't take care of your kids, you can't take care of your mom, dad, none of that. You can't take care of your job. You can't take care of nothing. Okay? Because you out here being a nervous wreck and stressed out. And is not going to bode well for you, you know? So self-love is not selfish. It's essential and it's necessary. And so when you think about the secrets to becoming a high-value woman, you better become selfish, honey. You better become selfish with yourself, selfish with your body, selfish with your time, selfish with your mind, selfish with your money, selfish with all of that. All of it. Why? Because you worked on it. You worked for it. You worked because of it. Okay? And you don't, the world is not your charity organization. Okay? You need to value yourself. Understand that you have value. And when you understand that you have value, you will treat yourself like the valuable things that you know, the inanimate objects that you have, right? You value purses, jewelry, you value all that. Value yourself like that. Anyway, let's go to number 3. Now, one of the things that I really, really loved about our discussion, can we have it all, was just the listening to the young ladies talk about their continued growth, right? Whether that was emotionally, mentally, learning, being able to cultivate new ideas, expand their skills and knowledge, challenge themselves. I mean, I was in heaven with them, and I must admit, at some point I supervised both of them, and I'm going to tell you, when people have such a wonderful spirit and they're just so talented, you know what I mean? And both of them are just so talented. Oh my God, they could do all kinds of stuff. And have that entrepreneurial spirit, and so they're not just pretty out here in these streets. No, not at all. Okay. They are like Queen Mother here. Okay. We're not just pretty out here in these streets. We got to be entrepreneurs. We have to make things. We have to figure things out. We have to get educated, get alphabets behind your name. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it all out here in these streets. Okay. It's just not easy, and in the world of women where they feel like, oh, just like what they were saying. Victoria and Charlotte both were saying, oh, well, I thought by 25, I was going to be married, have kids, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what society told women. But that's, and I'm never want to say this, but that's old, okay? That was for our mother, well, not their mothers, because my mama is 84, so... and their moms is like my age. So yeah. So the boomer generation mamas and them. Okay? That was for them. Women in this generation, you better forget about it. Okay? Because you need to be able to take care of yourself, handle yourself. You better fix tires. You better do it all, boo boo. Okay? Because I'm sorry. Okay? You is not going down like that. And the one thing that you have to say is that you always need to be expanding your skills, expanding your knowledge, challenge yourself. Personal growth is a lifelong journey that sets you apart and makes you intriguing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be multifaceted. Oh, let me tell you something. This is funny, and it just dawned on me. So I had this, what was the name of my car? Oh my God. Anyway, it was I can't remember the name of my car. Anyway, let's just say it was a Dodge Stratus. And if anybody know anything about Dodge Stratus, y'all know that car had a whole problem with the head gasket. Yeah. So being a cheap just finished law school student. Me and my Dodge Stratus had to just ride, honey. Let me tell you. And that thing would just be overheating and start smoking. And I would just have to go I put oil in the car. I decided to put oil in the car every time I get gas, I'm gonna put oil in the car. So I did that. And then that car got us to Mobile, Alabama when we moved. And so I would have to go do things, And so I had to drain. You know how the oil and the water get all mixed up and then the car get to stuttering and down the road. So I pulled the car up on a curve and put on my overalls and my everything. And I got up under the car and I was under there pulling the hoses so I could drain the water out and get all that stuff together and get some antifreeze, start getting the car together because the car was about to die in the Alabama heat all the way. Anyway, so I was under there doing that and the garbage truck rolled by. And these guys jumped off the garbage truck and was like, "Oh my God, let me help you." Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "Man, I got this. I'm almost done." And I was just, getting the hoses out. And they were like astonished. They were like, it is funny because the one guy on the truck is funny little white guy. He was like, "I'm in love." I was like, "What?" Never seen a girl do that. Anyway, I'm a queen. What you think? Okay, I'm waiting for you. Anyway, the point is you have to always be able to make it happen because we all grew up with the shining knight who's going to swoop in and save us. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say, it'll never happen for you or me or them. But oftentimes I have been the person swooping in to say they ass. Anyway, so with that, we're going to go to secret number 4, boundaries. So just like the lady said, once you go through and you have your feelings hurt and you have disappointments and you have things where people are not showing up for you the way you're showing up for them, one of the things you look at and you're like, okay, after you've felt that, like we were talking about the narcissist and we were talking about the red flags, right? And so in talking about all of that, we discussed boundaries, right? You need to have boundaries in all aspects of your life. You have to know when to say no and when to put yourself first. Your time and energy are valuable, and protecting them will attract those who respect and value you. Okay? Because you ever been in a situation where you tell people, "Okay, I'll do it," or you're like, "Okay, I'll pick you up," or "Okay, I got you." You're reluctant about it, but you do it, and you even secretly drag on because you want them to say, "Oh, that's okay, I got it." But they don't never do that. But as soon as you ask them for something that they don't want, you be like, "Oh, could you?" They be like, "No." The fuck is no. I'm sorry. But they just be like, "No." You're not shit. And you can't start. I did this, and that. They ain't asked you to do that. You did that. You did that. And now you mad. Don't get mad. And don't get even. Get some boundaries. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I am a nurturer to my core. My parents made me like that. But it took me a whole bunch of years, like 50, to realize that people will take and take and take and take and take and take until they can't take no more. But ask them for to cross the street to help you find a contact lens, and they'll be like, "I'm not coming out there in that sun. You better look for your eyeball on your own." Anyway, I digress. The point is, people will oftentimes have you go outside of your boundaries for their personal benefit, but they won't go outside of theirs. And what you really have to do is you really, if you're going to think of yourself as a high value woman, then you got to think, okay, what are my non-negotiables? You got to have some non-negotiables. If you don't have any non-negotiables, then you just free out here. You don't want to be free out here. Okay, this is not the thrift store around here. No. You need to show up with X, Y, Z going on. You need to show up with qualities and traits that are compatible. You need to show up. I'm a nurturer. You need to be a nurturer too. I'm always going to ride or die for mine. Are you going to ride or die for me? Let me tell you, I love to buy beautiful gifts. I love to go to wonderful restaurants and vacations, and I love to do that. And I have paid for all kinds of stuff, to do all kinds of things, and not for any reason but just to enjoy something with someone else. But honey, let me tell you, it's some men out here and some women and some friends who will not do the same thing for you, and you need to recognize that. And it's not that you want to punish people because they don't want to do that for you, but you want to just let it be known. I mean, if I ever come across a big, nice, healthy check, I'm taking all my girls on a vacation. I mean, I ain't got that many. But anyway, and it's not about, they, you know what I'm saying? It ain't whether they would ever do it or if they had anything. It's just something I want to do. It's on my heart. But what I'm saying to you is, as you're living and learning and growing, do things that are going to give you joy for the sake of your own joy. Not things that are going to make somebody else happy and then you're going to feel taken advantage of. Simple as that. Let's go to secret number 5. Authenticity. Be true to yourself. Embrace your quirks, your passions, and your values. Living authentically allows you to shine bright and attract authentic connections with people. Let me tell you something. Now, I was a medical technologist way back in the Air Force. And, I was teetering with medical school, but then I went to law school instead. And then my undergrad, and, my MBA from Alabama, Roll Tide. And I say all this to take you back to a story. I give stories. And this is the story. So when I was in law school at Cleveland Marshall College of Law in Cleveland, Ohio, I remember doing one of those moot court type of things, and you had to go and you had to, debate or litigate. We were newbies. I think it's first year or something. Yeah. And so you had to argue your case and had like a mock judge and a mock jury and, and I will never forget. It was a Black professor. And I remember in whatever I was doing, I said to someone, "May I ask you a question?" And she tore into me. "Now you may not ask." And so I got nervous and I kept saying the word improperly. And then as I continued, I got angry. And see, that was before therapy and knowledge of PTSD. Because I got like, look, let me tell you something. I'm going to say it however, I'm going to say it. Okay? I ain't tripping on you. Shit, I'll go to grammar later. But I just want to share that really hurt me because they have a word for it now. They call it code switching. You know, I didn't grow up with code switching. I was born in 69. Okay? Code switching. What? What? No. I'm not code switching shit. Okay? I'm Sonya. I'm educated and I'm highly favored by God. And I'll be god dang if I let someone make me feel bad because my family, everybody in my family was born in Alabama. Alexander City, Alabama, and Mobile, Alabama. Okay? Now, I must admit, when I moved to Mobile, I couldn't understand half of the community when I first got there. Couldn't understand shit. Because they speak it's like Dauphine and Vaudeville, the French ruled it, the Spanish ruled it. Hell, and everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, my language became a little extra imprinted in Mobile, even more so than from Alexander City. And so as I think about, you're not going to make fun of me about who I am. Now, if you want to go to any of my work speaking engagements, or you want to go to anything where I have to give a speech or be in a professional mode like that, then yes. But ask. Come on now. We say ain't. What the you know what I'm saying? When you let ain't into the dictionary, you took away my ability to be worried about how I say ask or ask. Okay? Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And look at me. It ain't never stopped me. You know what I'm saying? And honey, let me tell you, I did extremely well in my educational pursuits. Law school, not so great. But everywhere else, I was the bomb. I almost was one of the lawdies in my MBA program. And I was still vice president of my class. So, don't let nobody take your joy. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's going to be perfect. But me in my language is a huge quirk. And I embrace it. And some people are like, "Oh, well, you have to show that you're educated." To show shit. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm educated. Okay. Come at me the wrong way. You'll find out. However, like Victoria said, I'm a little suburb. I'm a little hood. And you need to know sometimes that you can get it, okay? Some people's like, oh, I'm going to sue you. Okay, sue me after I finish in your butt. Anyway, I got to stop. I have to take that out. Anyway, so let's go to number 6 of how to become a high-value woman. You have to embrace your femininity. Say that 3 times fast. Embrace your femininity. Celebrate your femininity. Honor your feminine energy, whether it's through your style, behavior, or mindset. Honey, let me tell you something. As a feminine woman, you can't be out here worried about what these people are doing. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, as a high value woman, I don't believe that it is necessary for me to be a man. I can fix a car. I can shoot a gun real good. I can shoot targets. I can do all kinds of things that a man can do. However, I don't have to grab my crotch and ratchet up myself and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? No. No. Now, were I to get stranded somewhere and bumfuck wherever, I'm a man up and get it done, you know? However, just in the daily life of living, there was a movement in the 80s, and I'll never forget it because I went through that movement because I was a punk rocker and all of that, and I used to wear my little Billy Joe skinny tie with my white shirts, with my cufflinks, with my black jacket. I even had a fedora, but you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay. I was, you know. And so there was this movement where to be a strong woman meant looking and, being like a man, and in the workplace, for you to get taken seriously, you had to be rough, gruff, girl, bye. Them days is over. Okay. And you can embrace your femininity and you can still rule. You can still be a boss. You can still make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be and manage people. You don't have to change who you are. Okay? Honor your feminine energy. Honor it because it's what connects us to Mother Earth. It's what gives us our individual style, our individual mindset. It's what gives us the ability to radiate grace and charm. How you gonna call yourself a high value woman when you don't embrace your femininity? You around here talking about things that ain't very feminine. But anyway, I digress. Not that, I mean, I believe that we take for granted how we are seen, right? I believe that people believe that we're seen by our body parts. That's feminine, tits, butt, all of that. That's feminine, right? Well, no, that's not all we are. You're feminine in your approach. You're feminine in the way that you handle a situation. When you use your discernment, when you're able to diffuse a situation in a way only a woman can, when you can read the room, and when you can lift someone up with a nurturing behavior, whether it be a man, a woman, a child, graciousness. I love telling people they're beautiful. I love complimenting people. I love complimenting women and young girls, babies. I compliment men too when they, I'm saying, like, whoa, you stepped it up. Anyway, and that is just, that's that nurturing thing. I love feminine compliments, and my mom showered me with them. So she still does. And I just believe that when you have self-confidence and you know who you are and you know your worth, you're able to just be in your feminine energy and not feel less than. I mean, I'm the first person to jump up and be ready to bust you upside your head. Him. I'm not gonna fix my hair and make sure I'm good when I'm done. Smacking you upside your head with the noons. Anyway, so let's go to the secrets of high value women. Number 7. I'm on 7. I thought I did 6. 6 is feminine energy. High standards. We're coming towards the end. We're rounding it. We're coming towards the end. High standards. You got to set high standards for yourself and those around you. You got to surround yourself with positive influence. Just like I just said, people who are willing to uplift you and inspire you. You know, too many times, especially as women, people get to hating on each other and being not happy for each other and just, being just negative. I don't deal with negative people. I don't have time for that. Negative people are negative because things don't go right in their life and they want to be negative. They want everybody to be negative too. I'm not going to be negative, and I'm going to be happy. Why? Because things go right in my life. Why? Because I work hard for them. They don't just miraculously appear. I work hard. I'm good to people. I leave a good impression upon people that I like. And I'm just a team player. And there are people out here and they can't be happy for you because they're not happy for themselves. So what you have to do, guess what? You just X some people out. X them out. You don't need them anyway. And then you have to be able to ask yourself, what is the intrinsic value that this person brings to this relationship? If you have to think too hard about it, then they're just like a hanger on. So, you gotta get them hangers on, off, set high standards for yourself, whether it be in a man, whether it be in a girlfriend. Set high standards for your food. You know what I mean? Shoot. I like fresh vegetables. Set high standards in what you drinking. You know what I mean? I don't really drink anymore like that. But when I did, I can't drink no rock gut. My stomach can't handle that. I need the good stuff. And also remember that you deserve nothing less than the best. And I want to close this out by saying that in our video, Can We Have It All, in the podcast last week with Shyla and Victoria, we really touched upon some things, and those things really hit me in a certain kind of way when we were discussing, my dad, and how I had been looking for my dad in men after my dad passed, and how they never, met that standard. Okay. And so we also said you need to date yourself, right? I consider myself extremely high value, honey. I don't even consider, I know. And I also know that just like we talked about, and I also know that just like we talked about, you have to put yourself first. And you got to make sure that you become what you seek. I don't seek low value targets. And I've gone on quite a few dates. I feel like a dating machine. But I have not, I don't spend a lot of time on dating. Generally 24, 48 hours. That's it. We sit across from each other, have a meal, have a discussion, talk on the phone. Because I'm not here for, your wants, needs, and desires, right? I'm here for mine. And it don't take me that long to figure out that you won't cut it. Red flags, what are those? I see those before they even pop out. You know what I'm saying? I got ESP on that. you know? And so, me being 54, I'm at a different place in, as I mentioned to them, in my whole high value standards of a queen journey, right? So, I mean, I've been married a couple times, and what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for is peace. And as I live my life and journey, and as I work and I do the things that make me happy, I do the things that bring me joy, I hang out with the people that I adore, I'm not missing anything. Mr. Prince Charming, no, he gonna have to be Prince Charming Daddy. Mr. King gonna show up one day, and he gonna be ready because he gonna be like, "Ooh, you've been waiting for me." I'm like, "Yes, baby, I have. It's all for you, but it ain't for these streets." And with that, thank you for joining me on Deliberations with Sonya. Make sure you click subscribe below. Make sure that you download this podcast. Make sure that you share it. Make sure that you show up next podcast Thursday. And make sure that you always stay a queen crusader. Good night.